Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Frequent Answers and Questions. This is episode 57, something like that.
Yo.
It's been a long time, boys. It's been
It has.
2 months since our last episode.
It's been too long.
Too long. No, February was in there, so that wasn't actually a long month whatsoever, was it?
Our viewers are very concerned about our well-being, I'm sure.
And we're doing good. That's because we just got out of hibernation. Yeah. We were literally laying in one closet. We wrote FAQ out in the front of it, FAQ exclamation point.
2017 is now almost 25% done. So,
oh my God, that's scary.
Have fun thinking about that one, guys.
Yep, feels
way to depress me there, Zach. Appreciate that.
I mean, if you really think about it, our lives are pretty much 25% or more.
Hopefully,
we're
80.
probably one of us is probably like over 50%.
What's the?
I wonder who that is.
What's the one line from some movie where the guy's like, "Well, I don't plan on living past like 29 or something like that, or 25." Oh, I can't remember what it is. Anyway, this is the Fat Cast. We have Greg Lloyd. Say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Greg, what does FAQ stand for?
We already went over this, but it stands for Frequent Answers and Questions, everybody.
I'm not over it yet. We have Zachary Barberin.
Good evening, everyone.
Zach, it's a pleasure to have you on the show as always. Nick DiCarlo, Colorado's favorite dirtbag.
Hey, everybody.
Fucking
About to be.
Dude, I'm glad you're here most of all.
About to be.
Most.
Africa's favorite dirtbag.
Ooh.
Oh, you want to talk about Africa real quick? You're going to Africa?
Yeah.
You're hardly going to Africa. You're going to South Africa. That's like...
That's like white people Africa? Is
That's
that what
pretty
you're
much
trying
like...
to say?
Yeah,
That's a little bit racist.
Basically.
But yeah. The apartheid's over, so I mean, that's a major bummer.
The apartheid? The what? The bartide?
Apartheid.
Was it race?
The bar tide, dude. It's like,
What's
you
the
know...
bar tide?
Oh, it's just like, you know, when you have a big wave when you're at the bar.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fucking great show. I can already tell. Tonight we're going to talk about some politics. We usually talk shit about the right side, you know, the conservatives, the alt-right, people who don't like freedom as much as we do. Damn it, Nick. No. This time we're talking about the left. We're going to talk some shit. Second thing that we're going to talk about is the landscape of video games that's going on right now. We got Persona 5 coming out. We have Mass Effect that just came out the other day. Horizon Zero Dawn came out recently. Nier Automata, fucking Legend of Zelda. What, Nick?
Is the game called Persona 5 or Persona 5? I'm
Cinco.
confused.
Personified? Oh, that's good. No, Persona 5.
Persona
So
5.
there's like a Persona 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Yes.
Oh.
And the last Persona, this is one of those series that like a game comes out like, it used to come out like every couple of years, but the last Persona game has been like 5-6 years now.
And are they all the same like,
PS2,
storyline?
PS3, sorry.
Are they all the same storyline, or is it like Final Fantasy where they're not connected at all?
No, but it's in the same universe. Anyway, we'll get to all this. We start off every show with the soapbox. It's where we complain about something that happens, you know, in real life. Usually it's us just bitching and moaning about the fucking card readers. I don't want someone to try to bag my groceries. I can do it, you know, stuff like, we usually talk about stuff like that. This week, I want to talk about something a little more serious.
Something a little bit more personable.
Exactly.
Personal.
Some shit that just
Persona
happened.
5.
So, the actual reason why we haven't had a podcast in, 2.5 months now. So, on January 1st, I started studying for my professional geology exam. So I can look at rocks and say, ooh, professionally, and sign off on papers and stuff. Anyway, so this is like a crazy test, right? You guys all had finals in college. We all went through that stuff. This is more like a final on everything you would have learned throughout college. You can buy a study manual for it. It's about this thick. It breaks down like your entire college curriculum in, I don't know, that many pages, about 400 pages, let's say. It's getting bigger as I do it. Anyway, so I felt pretty confident before going into this test. I studied for like 2 hours every single night, pretty much. I would say minimum. Some days I would do 3. A couple nights here and there I wouldn't study at all. But anyway, I mean, I probably put a good 200 hours into studying for this thing. I was so confident before the test, I was just like, I mean, I knew the whole like study manual front and back basically. I was so confident before the test, I mean, I just went to bed at a normal time the night before, woke up, 8 o'clock, studied a little bit, had a nice breakfast, went and took a test, really wasn't stressed at all. And come to find out, after taking the test, I'm pretty certain that my study manual was not near enough comprehensive for me to be able to pass this shit. And everyone at work's basically saying, oh, well, you don't know the results yet, Matt. I actually haven't failed it yet. But I'm very certain that there's
March
no way I
23rd.
got a 70% on this
You haven't
test.
failed it yet that you know of.
Exactly.
That's inspiring.
I know of.
You just think you failed.
Exactly. But since taking this test, I mean, I've gone through like a wave of like emotions, and I kind of want to know how you guys dealt with hard failure like that in the past. You know, maybe it's been like an interview that you thought was going to go well and it just didn't. I mean, like you fucking tried out for the Olympics and realized that, man, you weren't really even close to being a sumo wrestler. You know, obviously.
I don't think any of us has tried out for the Olympics.
No, I understand.
I get what you're saying.
But I don't think it's actually hit me yet because I got done with the test, and about halfway through the test, I was starting to get pissed off, kind of angry about it. I wasn't actually sad or anything like that. But I went home. It was the night before Irish Bar Day, St. Patrick's Day. Fucking Irish Bar Day, don't you love it? And I just drank a lot that night. It was great. Got real fucking hammered. Kind of continued to drink the rest of the weekend, and I don't think I've really faced it yet. So I haven't really gotten depressed over it, but I really have been trying just to avoid it. You push it down so far till you're just walking on it.
Bury it deep and you keep an eye on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you going to do if you did fail?
So this test is only offered 2 times a year, 1 time in spring, 1 time in fall. The next test is offered in October. I took it in early March. So I'm going to have to find a different way to... So here's the thing. I guess you have to... If you fail at something, so I guess this is my way to deal with it. You can't try again the exact same way. What's the old saying where if you do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, that's the definition of insanity or some bullshit?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I wrote that. I came up with that quote. But I'm going to have to figure out a different way to study for it. If it's either me finding courses I can take, which I've already tried looking. They're $500 for an 8-hour course in Colorado.
You have to go to Colorado for it?
It's not looking good. So yeah, I'm not quite sure yet. But anyway, have you guys failed? Have you guys fucked up in the past? And how did you guys deal with it?
Before we start getting into stories, I'd like to say a couple words of encouragement. For one, if you did fail, it's a lot better to kind of be prepared for it than to think that, oh yeah, I nailed that test.
I'm expecting failure.
Yeah.
If I pass, then I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
that's nice.
But
I was not expecting
it's
that.
better going into it kind of knowing that it wasn't great rather than you ever had one of those tests where it's like, oh yeah, I nailed the shit out of that. And then it comes back 68%. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that is definitely a worse feeling. So yeah, I don't know.
68 sucks.
And then the other words of encouragement I have for you is to quote, the venerable Rocky Balboa. I can't do his accent very well, so I'm not going to try, but he basically says, it's not how hard you hit in life, but it's how hard you get hit, and you keep going, or something to that effect. So
I'd like to quote that 190 song where it's like, I get knocked down, but I get up again, because you ain't never going to knock me down. And
There
they
we
start
go.
talking about pee
Yeah.
for some reason.
Pissing the night away.
Pissing the night away.
It's because that's slang for drinking.
Yeah.
I
And
never
that's why
got
he
that.
says-
Dude. I
It's
was like,
Chumbawamba, dude.
That's why he says, I drink some whiskey drink, I drink some lager drink, I drink some cider drink, I
This
drink...
is just pissing the night
I always thought they said kissing the night away. So thanks,
I thought it
guys.
was kissing that.
Oh, I always thought it was pissing, and
It
I
is
always
pissing, but
thought that
like
she was
in
talking about pissing.
In British layperson
Slang.
speak, aka slang, if you go get pissed, that means you go get really drunk.
So what is the name of the song that we're quoting?
Chumbawamba, dude.
Chumbawamba?
Tub thumping.
Yeah, tub thumping. Yeah.
Just type.
Hey,
pissing the
I just
night
want to
away.
say that was really sweet coming out of Colorado's favorite dirt bag.
Yeah.
Douchebag.
Yeah.
I'm
Thanks,
really
Nick.
impressed. That was nice.
Thank you.
Will you touch me? Wow, he hardly ever touches me anymore.
Wow, that was a moment.
And that was 3 fingers at once. We need to clean this table, Nick.
Yes,
Look
we
at
do.
this.
I was gonna say similar stuff like I've been turned down for jobs before and didn't a bunch of different stuff like back in high school didn't make the soccer team, a bunch of different failures and stuff, and it always sucks. But the only thing you can do is just focus on what you can control. Like you did the best you could.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't know. I mean, it's not. I mean, the study guy was kind of screwed you over. So you did the best you could, and so there's not really any point in
Yeah.
getting depressed about it. And
It's just hard. It's so much easier telling someone that
Yeah, I
than
know.
actually taking that and be like, nah, I suck.
yeah.
It's okay.
But I mean,
alright.
you did the effort. Like you put
That's
the
true.
effort in. So that's the main thing. Like you couldn't really do anything
Yeah,
else.
I think so too.
Mm.
It's not like you made a decision that was bad. it's just like somehow we're studying the wrong thing, or the study guide was wrong. I don't know.
Well, I think for me, when I think about failure, like it's really hard to come up with like a gut reaction for times that I feel like I've failed, which I think on the surface it seems like it would be a good thing, but I think it's also a sign of just like for me when like for things that I feel like I have failed at, I think usually it just gets me to like shut down. But on the surface, it might seem like a good thing that I can't automatically like jump to something that I feel like I've failed at. That might seem like a good thing, but
that's actually a really good point.
Well, I know that I've heard this with regards to like startup companies in Silicon Valley that like failures are seen as like, that's seen as like a really positive thing. Like you go there and you wear it
rite
like,
of passage or something.
Yeah, rite of passage, or you wear it as like a badge of honor. Like, oh look, I've had 3 companies, they've all failed, and it's just like, oh my god, that's great. You know what I mean? So I think that kind of is more of a sign of like, or I think it's more of a positive way of looking at it. Like failure as a positive sign. And I think all like really famous entrepreneurs or inventors or they always have something to say about failure. That like failure is a step to reaching success. So even if you did fail, you got to wear that with a badge of honor. Be like, fuck yeah, I failed that test. Like,
yeah, exactly. And it's weird the way you're saying like you don't necessarily remember all of them, and that could just be because like you eventually just said, well, fuck it, I'm not gonna fucking think about it, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. So yeah, that's probably not the best way to deal with failure, but
yeah, I think the best approach is to just like wear it as a badge of honor, and wear it as like a now the way that what not to do. You know what I mean? You know what way, like just like what you said with regards to trying the same thing over again. Now that you know that method of studying wasn't the most effective method, now you're going to be stronger. The next time you go at it, because you know what to study, you know how to study, you know what's going to be effective. So I think that's the best way to deal with failure.
Problem.
I mean, the thing is like we all know instinctively that if you fail at something, you got to try again. It's like you fall off the horse, you got to get back up. We all know that instinctively, and I think that that's something that's important to focus on. Because for me, when we're talking about this, I'm feeling like damn, I haven't failed that much. And that kind of sucks. Like I feel like I should really like.
Means you're not
I should
pushing
risk
yourself.
Yeah. You should be risking more. You should be risking more, and like it's in some ways good to have some failures under your belt, because that means that you tried at something, and even if you didn't get it, you still get credit for trying.
I agree.
I mean, shit. I mean, I was in geology with you. I didn't take my fucking RG, so I mean, you're winning in that regard.
I guess so. I just need to make it past the last hurdle. All right. Hey, that was good. What time we got here? We got 15 minutes. When we return, we're going to talk about some video games, maybe a little bit of news. We'll see what you get.